Dr. House wasn't just a doctor, he was a hurricane of sarcasm, Vicodin, and medical miracles. With his cane, cold stares, and obsession with being right, he redefined what a TV doctor could be. But behind that signature snarl is a mountain of wild, unbelievable facts. From medical myths to British secrets to a duck with acting credits, here are 20 weird facts about Dr. House that even Wilson probably didn't know. Fact 1. Hugh Laurie fooled the entire network. When the show was still in early development, producers were auditioning actors to play the American lead. Hundreds showed up, many with star power, some with fake stethoscopes. Then came Hugh Laurie. He sent in a self-taped audition from a hotel bathroom in Namibia where he was filming. Rough lighting, cheap camera, but the performance? Pure House. The kicker. The producers had no idea he was British. Bryan Singer reportedly said, "See? This is what I want, a real American guy." Laurie had fooled them with his pitch-perfect accent and landed the role from a hotel toilet. Fact 2. The character was inspired by Sherlock Holmes. House. Holmes. Ever noticed how close those names sound? That's not an accident. Dr. House was designed as a modern-day medical Sherlock. Brilliant, antisocial, and obsessed with solving mysteries. Like Holmes, House plays an instrument. Piano and guitar instead of violin. Like Holmes, he has a right-hand man. Wilson equals Watson. He even lives at 221B Baker Street in the pilot episode. And yes, like Sherlock, House also dabbles in, well, substances. Vicodin, anyone? Fact 3. House's limp is on the wrong leg, and no one caught it. Hugh Laurie, as committed as he is, sometimes forgot one critical thing. Which leg was injured? In season 1, his limp switches between scenes. Some episodes even reverse the limp entirely. Why? Because even the best actors are human, and the cane, combined with the painkillers and multiple takes, confused his muscle memory. It got so inconsistent that producers started editing around it, and by season 3, fans were divided into team right leg and team left leg. Fact 4. Hugh Laurie became depressed playing House. Playing a character that angry, bitter, and emotionally hollow for 8 seasons? It takes a toll. Hugh Laurie revealed in interviews that House started to affect his mental health. He was isolated on set, filming long days, carrying the show on his back. At one point, he was earning $700,000 per episode, and said he still wasn't happy. He described feeling like House was consuming him. The line between character and self blurred. The pain wasn't just in the leg, it was creeping into his real life. Fact 5. The show changed medical school applications. After House premiered in 2004, something strange happened. Medical school applications started to spike. According to some university deans, students cited House as their reason for choosing medicine. Not Grey's Anatomy, not ER. House. The catch? Most of them wanted to be diagnosticians, specialists in bizarre, unsolvable cases, just like House. Even though, in real life, most doctors deal with flu shots and paperwork, a generation of future MDs started their journey because of a grumpy guy who yelled at patients and broke all the rules. Fact 6. They used real diseases sometimes. The writers of House took pride in featuring rare, real-world medical conditions. Lupus, cat scratch fever, even sleeping sickness. But they didn't always get it right. Doctors watching the show noticed that sometimes symptoms were conveniently exaggerated or mysteriously vague. House would shout out 5 obscure diseases in a row, then cut a patient open based on a hunch. In real hospitals, that's malpractice. In House's world, it's just another Tuesday. Still, some real doctors say the show helped them recognize actual rare conditions because they'd seen it first on TV. Fact 7. Lisa Edelstein based Cuddy on real hospital admins. Dr. Cuddy wasn't just House's boss, she was his moral counterweight, punching bag, and occasionally his romantic chaos. Lisa Edelstein said she studied real hospital administrators to craft the role. She learned how they walk, talk, budget, and fight to keep departments alive. Edelstein also worked with costumers to make Cuddy's outfits look like she was power dressing on a limited budget. And yes, her relationship with House was always meant to be messy, because according to the writers, a stable couple doesn't generate 8 seasons of fireworks. Fact 8. The writers had a rule: no romance for House. At least, not at first. In early seasons, the writers had a hard rule. House does not fall in love. He may flirt, lie, manipulate, but he's emotionally untouchable. That's why early relationships, like Stacy, were always built to implode. But as the seasons went on, and fans got louder, the writers eventually cracked. They gave us Huddy, House plus Cuddy, and it was chaotic. House was never designed to function as a romantic partner, and that's exactly why it made for unforgettable television. Fact 9. House was almost a crime procedural. Before it was a medical drama, House started as something very different, a detective show. The original pitch had House solving non-medical mysteries, like a consulting genius, but studios weren't biting, so David Shore reimagined it. What if Sherlock Holmes solved human bodies instead of murder cases? It worked. Suddenly the stakes were life or death, and a whole new kind of show was born, the medical whodunit. Fact 10. Robert Sean Leonard almost quit to do Shakespeare. Wilson, House's best friend, moral compass, and sandwich sharer, was played by Robert Sean Leonard. But there were several moments where he almost left the show. Why? Because he wanted to do theater, specifically Shakespeare. Leonard is a classically trained stage actor and nearly passed on House altogether to star in King Lear and Hamlet, but the producers offered him flexibility, allowing him to leave for summer stage seasons. And that's how we got 8 seasons of Wilson, plus a few curtain calls between takes. Fact 11. The opening theme almost got the show sued. That haunting guitar riff in the opening credits, it's from the song Teardrop by Massive Attack. Moody, mysterious, instantly recognizable. But here's the twist. In some countries, like the UK, the producers couldn't get the rights, so they had to create an entirely new theme just for international versions. The result? A jarring switch that confused fans. In the US, it was edgy and iconic. In other markets, it sounded like the opening to a courtroom drama. To this day, House fans debate which version was better. Fact 12. Omar Epps and Foreman shared a wild coincidence. Dr. Eric Foreman, the ambitious neurologist with a chip on his shoulder, was played by Omar Epps. And get this, Omar Epps also played a doctor on ER, but that's not even the weird part. Both characters were neurologists had troubled pasts, known for being blunt, analytical, and emotionally distant. Some fans even believed House and ER took place in the same universe. They don't, but the casting? Total deja vu. Epps said playing Foreman was like coming back to the same hospital, but with a bigger office and a worse boss. Fact 13. Every episode title hides a clue. Look closely at the episode titles in House, and you'll notice something. They're puzzles. Some are medical terms. Autopsy, euphoria, skin deep. Others are philosophical or ironic. Everybody lies. Simple explanation. One day, one room. And some are literal twists. 3 stories, which is actually 3 diagnoses told in one class lecture. No reason, which turns out to be full of them. The writers treated titles like mini mysteries, because on House, nothing is random, not even the name of the episode. Fact 14. The Vicodin was actually mints. You think Hugh Laurie downed painkillers every episode? Not quite. Those little white pills he pops like Tic Tacs? They were Tic Tacs. Sometimes they used actual breath mints. Other times they swapped in sugar tablets. Laurie joked that by season 4, he was probably the mintiest person on television, but he never liked the act of fake swallowing, so most of the time he'd just hold them under his tongue and let the scene roll. Method acting, more like mint acting. Fact 15. The cane was Laurie's idea, but it caused real injuries. In the pilot, House's limp wasn't just written in, it was designed by Laurie himself. He wanted the character to physically carry his pain, so he chose a cane and a limp based on watching real stroke and muscle trauma victims. But here's where it gets tricky. Hugh Laurie committed so hard to the limp that he started to develop real hip and knee pain from years of walking unevenly on set. He said by season 5, he was seeing a physical therapist off camera to treat damage caused by pretending to be injured. In other words, House broke his body by faking a broken body. Fact 16. The show hid an Easter egg in House's apartment. You've seen House's apartment a dozen times. Piano, whiteboards, junk food, and stacks of books. But did you ever notice the number on the door? It's 221B. That's not just a number, it's the famous address of Sherlock Holmes in London, and it was deliberately chosen by the writers to reinforce the connection between House and Holmes. They even designed House's apartment layout to loosely resemble Holmes's flat, complete with scattered case files and a taste for classical music. Detective work with a prescription pad. Fact 17. Kal Penn left the show for the White House. Dr. Lawrence Kuttner was one of the most beloved additions to House's diagnostic team. And then, boom, he dies suddenly in season 5. No warning, no build-up, just a tragic off-screen suicide. Why? Because Kal Penn left the show to join the Obama administration. Seriously, he became associate director in the White House Office of Public Engagement. From diagnosing liver disease to shaping national policy. When asked why, he said, "I figured I could serve the public in a different way." Kuttner's death shocked fans, but it was never about drama, it was about duty. Fact 18. The series finale was full of hidden goodbyes. In the last episode, House fakes his own death and rides off into the unknown with Wilson, but the writers filled that final hour with hidden references to past cases, characters, and themes. The hallucinated figures who haunt House, their patients and colleagues from key episodes, the bike ride, a callback to Wilson's cancer diagnosis and their friendship's ticking clock. Even the funeral eulogies are full of double meanings. Wilson calling him a jerk is House's favorite kind of compliment. It wasn't just an ending, it was a diagnosis of House himself, laid out in memories. Fact 19. The writers planned multiple endings. The writers toyed with several ways to end House. Some were hopeful, some were tragic, some were completely bonkers. One early draft had House die in a self-sacrificial surgery, saving a child patient. Another version had him walk away from Princeton Plainsboro entirely, leaving behind medicine forever. But they landed on something in between, a fake death, a final act of rebellion, and a road trip into uncertainty. Why? Because House would never go quietly. He'd rather burn down the hospital than say goodbye with a handshake. Fact 20. The show's slogan became a medical meme. Everybody lies. Those two words became the heartbeat of the show. House said it constantly about patients, families, doctors, even himself. It wasn't just his catchphrase, it was his diagnostic method. But here's the weird part. Real doctors began referencing the line in actual medical journals and lectures. It sparked debates about patient honesty, self-reporting, and the ethics of treatment. One article in The Lancet literally quoted House. Another used "everybody lies" to title a study on prescription drug abuse. A fictional grump reshaping real-world medicine. Bonus fact, the duck got a credit in season 2, episode 12, Distractions. House hides a duck in Wilson's office. It's a throwaway gag, but that duck, it made the credits. Its name was Steve McQueen. Yes, really. And after that scene aired, it was added to the guest cast list, complete with animal handler credits and a union rep. Producers later said, "That duck was more professional than half our actors." And Hugh Laurie, he tried to adopt it, because in a show full of geniuses and jerks, sometimes the duck's the only one who deserves a spin-off. Dr. House didn't play by the rules. He broke bones, broke hearts, and occasionally broke the fourth wall. But for 8 seasons, he made us rethink everything we thought we knew about heroes, medicine, and pain. Behind that snarl was a character who bled brilliance, sometimes literally. If you liked peeling back the layers of House, hit like, subscribe, and drop your favorite House one-liner in the comments. And remember, in the world of diagnosis, it's never lupus, except when it is.